Good afternoon. Welcome to the Blissful routine session. And today I'm going to show you how to create a blissful routine, a set of habits that aligns with your goals and values to bring you lasting fulfillment. So that you know you're in the right place. I've seen the power of powerful habits working in the lives of many business executives and business owners that I've worked with throughout the years. And today what we're going to do is I'll be sharing the exact same system that I've been using to help so many people. And then we'll have a Q&A section, so you can ask your questions, we can debate a little bit, and we can share thoughts and insights. So the first question is, why do people struggle to have a structured routine, a structured set of habits that actually move you forward and help you achieve success and fulfillment? Why are so many people stuck in routines that either drain you rather than empower you, in habits that may get things done, but they're not necessarily aligned with your aspirations, your core values, and do not get you any closer to your goals, into your success, into your fulfillment? So why do people struggle? There's a number of reasons for this. There's on one hand, there could be lack of commitment or lack of relevance of those habits. Some people tend to start too big or too suddenly, so it's too abrupt. So it's from 0 to 200 miles in just overnight. And that tends to create too much stress, too much pressure. Another thing is not having a structure in place, or doing it just by yourself, doing it alone. And another big is being just too serious about this. And once you start a commitment, you're being too strict and not allowing for 1 or 2 days where you don't necessarily follow exactly what you were supposed to do. But I think the most important factors really are the lack of strong purpose for starting and following through. This is very significant, and what we'll be discussing here today is very much around this idea of having meaning, adding a purpose to everything that you do, including your daily routines. And related to that, and I think this is really the biggest thing, is that people tend to adopt habits that are either suggested or we kind of feel like they're imposed on us. And in the end, it's really not your thing. And so the question is, how do we make it your thing? So how do we come up with this set of routines that feel true and feel meaningful, that we want to adhere to? And that is the real challenge. A quick word on why I'm so effective when it comes to building structure and routines that drive you towards success and fulfillment. I am a founder. I created businesses for myself and others, and I was doing six figures at some point. I was a CEO of a company that I co-founded, and I learned that success doesn't necessarily mean equal fulfillment. And as a coach, I've developed I've helped numerous business leaders discover fulfillment and success beyond success. And a huge, essential, crucial part of this, either in my own experience, personal experience, but also working with so many successful professionals, is have in place this structured, balanced, meaningful routine. And I've seen this happening over and over again. So back to the question, how do you make habits your thing? So how, in other words, how do you go from the sensation of wasting your time and procrastinating, feeling bored about the things that you define as your routines, to days of fulfillment with empowering habits, so you can optimize and appreciate your journey to true success and lasting fulfillment? How do you make habits your thing? And the answer to this is the blissful routine. And in the blissful routine, we do three things. We work on habits to support your goals. We work on habits that matter to you. And then we finally build your routine. We'll get into that, and we'll be very practical. I'll show you in very practical terms and show you examples of how this works. For context, why habits? Through habits, we get a number of things. We get the sense of stability and safety. It's like it's a backbone for building on top of. It's a safe harbor to go back to. There's a number of examples about this. For some people, and amidst the rush or the confusion or the overwhelm of a full day, having these small little things that you go back to feels really safe and give you that sense of structure, that sensation of control and ownership, and that's really important. It's a system to measure, assess where you're at. There's I can give you a number of examples that help you to really understand where you are. Meditation is one of them. If you work out regularly, it's also a good way to assess not just how you feel how your body feels, but also how your mind, how you are emotionally. And it works very simple. You have your 5K run, let's say. The way you approach it will give you a perception of how are you physically, but also, do you feel like it? Are you up to it? Do you have that resilience? And you can measure and assess where you're at. It's a support for achieving goals. We'll specifically look how we can do this in this session. And it gives you the pride of doing, of making progress. So having that discipline of going back to either daily or weekly or monthly, going back to the actions that you do regularly, it will give you not just the understanding of progress, but it will give you that fulfillment, that joy that you are complying with what you decided you would. And this could be very relevant, even in times, or especially in times of challenge, where you're facing challenges and times of stress. So how do we start habits? How do we keep habits? How do you keep it up? So the concept is you can do it in different ways. You have total immersion. Examples: quit smoking, start to work out. You're not doing it, and then all of a sudden you are doing it. Also, there's slow adoption. Even sometimes for the same sort of habits, you can just go full in, or you can slowly adopt, start doing them. And this is also really important, is there's no right or wrong way. It's very personal. It's got to do with your personality. Even quitting smoking, most people just quit. They're smoking, and all of a sudden they're not. But some people like to kind of decrease the number of cigarettes that they're smoking. That's one way to do it. Working out is also something that you can do slowly adapt. Some people will take just a couple of weeks to read about it, to be informed about it. Some people will go to their GP. Some people will do a physical checkup. Other people will just go to the store, or just buy online a pair a pair of running shoes, and they just go and they start doing it. And also somewhere in between. And so you don't have to be on these extremes. So the way you adopt the new habit, it can change, and there's no right or wrong. There's your personality and how you look at all of this. And note, not going too deep on this now, right now, but the reward process, right? What sort of mechanism do we put in place so that the reward system is ongoing? Because so often you can, many times when you start something, especially if it's from not doing it at all to actually doing it, it feels very rewarding at first, but then there tends to be like a curve where this sensation of reward, of fulfillment, decreases. So there's mechanisms that we put in place to make sure that we kind of sustain that rewarding feeling. How do you choose? What habits are you going to choose? It's dependent on a number of things. The habits nature. What I mean is, if I, it's going to be very difficult for me to go have a walk on the beach every day if for someone, as I do, who lives in West London, right? So this is obviously a kind of a silly but extreme example, but there's this, the habit itself, the nature of the habit itself, your response to it. So it's fine if you trial and change. It's okay to experiment. It's in fact, it's very much okay, and see how you respond to it. A walk in nature every morning at 5 a.m. Does it work for you? No, it doesn't, but I do like to walk, but I don't like to walk in the dark and it's cold. Maybe I can replace that, and I can do it on my lunch break. So your response will also determine what you do next. Your personality, obviously, some people adhere to some things, other people to other things, and the moment in life. It's also very much self-explanatory. But if I just had my third child, it's probably not the best of times, and I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and I have a newborn baby. It's probably not the best time, well, for a number of things, right? So the moment in life really matters, and the why that drives the habit. Why are you doing that? We'll get into that in a moment. And then finally, is it temporary or permanent? And that has a huge impact on the why, especially if you want to align this with goals. Support system, a big thing. And this is very much on how do you keep it up, very much also on how you start it. When you start something, you're going to need some information. If it's something that it's new for you, you're going to have your experts and your gurus, you're going to have your books, your podcasts and videos, and seminars and webinars. But also, you want to keep those habits, just you want to keep that it's motivation, but sometimes it's just discipline. How do you follow through? How do you keep it up? And you'll need to keep reading, to keep researching, to keep, to choose a podcast, or to choose a YouTube channel, or to regularly attend seminars or webinars related to whatever it's new that you're incorporating in your life. A group, right? Real life or online groups. Whatever you choose to do these days, there will be people also working on that. If it's not in your neighborhood, because you might live in somewhere remote, or you might not have that as a possibility, but you go online, there's people working on that, and that will give you the push when you don't feel like it. You'll have that. And related to that, friends and family, bring them to your corner, right? That's really important. Keep your household informed of what you're doing it and why you're doing it, and the benefits that you're expecting from that. And that's really important. Having a coach or a mentor, it's always a very important thing. They can support you, they can teach you, they can lead you. A mentor is someone who has walked the path. A coach, maybe they have, maybe they haven't, but they know the techniques on how to support you. And an accountability partner. I've kind of I highlight that because it's such an important part of succeeding in your goals, in your habits. They will know you. They will know you will agree with them, with your accountability partner. You will agree how you want, you're expecting them to help you be accountable. And it's a wonderful, wonderful situation where you can walk the path with somebody else. Practical approach. So life hacks, right? And we're getting into really practical things on how to adopt new habits, on how to keep them up. Align with Pi of Life is a concept that we have in the ABC success and fulfillment journey that I use as my framework for coaching. And it's basically aligning with what's most important to you and aligning to your core values and purpose and goals. I have two real life examples, and it's easier to explain this, but I'll say that whatever you choose to do, choose it with something that really touches your heart and it's aligned with your core values. So there's you want to eliminate as much friction as you want, as you can, and you want it to be aligned with what's really meaningful to you. Do a comprehensive list and then prioritize. Just write it down, write things down. What do you think it's going to be? It's going to help you to achieve success, to achieve fulfillment. Write everything down and then prioritize. Leave some out, but be comprehensive and don't let do it with no boundaries. Oh, I can't do this anymore. I'm too old for this. I'm overweighted to do that. I don't have the skills. Just put it on, put it all in writing, and then you'll prioritize. Keep a pool of habits, right? You have your list. Maybe there's 5, 6, 10 things that you would like to get into. You won't be able to start and keep a practice of all of them. But you can say, well, let's put this on the shelf, and maybe 2025, well, becoming 20 or 2026, maybe that's going to be a good time to work on this. Changes. There's life changes, so there's different lives. So change things. Right? Replace one good habit for another good habit, or replace something that it's not working for you. But that's an easy one. You're just going to replace it. But even if it is working for you, add some diversity. This diversity will help eliminate that sense of boredom. So it's fine if you're working out, just for 1 month, you're doing a type of exercise, you're working in the gym with weights. The next month, you just work at home with no weights, with your body weight. So add diversity. You want to do a career change. So you decided as a habit to get some self-education. Well, this month you're reading books. Next month you're watching videos or listening to podcasts. And keep it simple, right? Keep it simple. I'm going to show you exactly how we built this in a couple of minutes. First, it gets complicated, and then we make it really simple, right? So this is the exercise. We dive deep, we complicate things, and then we kind of just back up and say, okay, now let's make it really, really simple, right? Like dumb simple. And go easy on yourself. You don't have, just, what is it that they say? Rome wasn't built in a day. And you're not going to change your life. You're not going to even adjust everything just because you're listening to me right now, just because you want to. It's going to take some time. So go easy on yourself. And it's also your personality. Some people like to have high standards, like to aim high. So they go for like a full list of new things. I'm going to start this, and it's fine for some people to achieve, just to do 60% or 70%. It's a huge success. But some people, I'd say most people, they prefer to work with, to have that rewarding sensation of achieving daily and weekly, getting things done. So, but when you don't, just don't punish yourself. You're just trying, and what you need to do is just to adjust, be accountable. So a balance, go easy on yourself, be accountable. You know the difference, right? You know the difference when you're just procrastinating or being lazy, and actually having a valid, good reason to say, you know what, today I'm just, instead of doing that extra training that I need to do in order to get to start my own business, instead of doing that, I'm just going to bed because I'm really tired. And you know the difference. If you're going to bed and you're going to sleep and have some rest, that's one thing. If you're going to be watching for 2 hours watching your favorite TV show, that's another thing. And so, include options. If I cannot, go to the swimming pool this evening, what else can I do? What's my other option? So we don't, just kind of, oh, I missed that, so now I cannot do anything. Well, of course you can. So include options, try error, and assess, build, celebrate. You use, this is a reference to my ABC, success and fulfillment journey. You assess yourself. How is it working, right? How am I feeling with this? You build, which means you adjust. If you have to, include new things, remove other things. So you plan, you build, and then you take time to celebrate. I've done this. Wow, great thing. I'm just gonna, just screenshot my app with whatever it is that I was following, following up through the app, and I'm going to share this with my family, my friends. I'm going to make a phone call and say, you know what, I've just achieved this. And to keep the momentum, contribute. You've achieved something. There's this habit that it's really working. If it's something that you can do, if it's feasible, include someone, have someone do that, whatever habit it is. Those, lunch break walks, invite a colleague from work to do that with you, right? And the positive impact that you will have in other people's lives, because they're joining in with habits that are, working for you, it will keep the momentum. All of a sudden you have an accountability partner, and that sense of fulfillment from giving back, it's not, well, it's unmatched. All right, action time. So we're going to see how this works in practical terms. Habits to support your goals, then habits that matter to you, and then your routine, your diary. And this is straight from the workbook of the ABC fulfillment journey. So the first thing, so we have to think 3 things to do. First thing, habits to support your goals. And and what we do is we define specific actions, specific little habits, and we associate them with goals. So first of all, what is the goal that we're working on currently? Could be more than one, but so to make it simple, I'm working on this specific goal. So I'm going to write it down. This is my specific goal. And then what sort of habits can I include in my daily morning routine, in my evening routine, and my weekly routine, in my monthly routine, or whenever? What sort of habits can I include in my life that's going to help me to achieve my goal? So it's really connected, right? Sometimes very directly, sometimes indirectly, to achieving your goals, right? And this is the first action that you do. I have examples. I'll show you in a minute. All right. Second, okay, habits that matter to you. So in my ABC success and fulfillment journey, we look into goals and we align those goals with what's truly important to you. And when we define routines, we do something similar. We define habits that that are really connected with something that we want to achieve, something specific. But also, we define habits that just align with what is really important for us. And we do this area by area. So let's say for me, it's really important, my family, right? So I'm going to write in the first column, family, right? So what sort of habits can I add to my routine that are really, that's going to help to increase the fulfillment that I have with my relationship with my family? That's the idea, right? And the final thing that we do. So as you see, we'll end up with a very comprehensive list of things that we can do, that we could do, that we would like to do, right? If you fill in all these little boxes, you'll have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 habits for that matter to you, that are going to help you improve the relationship and the fulfillment that you have with your different areas of your life. And you're going to have another 6 habits that's going to propel you towards your goals. It's a lot of things. So now what we need to do is finally, so we made it really complex and comprehensive, and we've given it a lot of thought, and we might have had that sensation of overwhelm and even the frustration. I'm not going to be able to do this, all of this ever. So what we do now is we look critically at the 2 lists of habits, and then the actions required for the goals, right? And now we build a routine. So we select those things that that we know, that we understand, and we look at this from we do a reality check, another concept from the ABC fulfillment framework. We do a reality check. So what is it feasible? And that goes straight to our blissful routine. A couple of examples. So example 1. This is a real life example. Someone just sent me this. So wake up at 6. This aligns with this is someone that I know. So this aligns with something that really matters to this person, which is health. So he, to him, defines for a healthy living, sleeping 8 hours. So going to bed early and waking up early is really important. So it's meaningful. It aligns with health, but also aligns with working goals. To him, it's important to start the day early because he has the intention of priming up. So there's a number of steps that he feels that he likes to do before showing up in his prime for work. Then drink a glass of water, and then meditative walk for 15 minutes. That's also aligns with health and also spirituality. Go over the plan for the day. This is aligned with some career goals, right? And then the workout, again, related to improving health. Shower, grab a phone first time, catch up, and then work and lunch. Work, relaxed, creative work. This aligns to well-being. Right? It's something that really matters to this person, the well-being. So doing some creative, some just relaxing, unwinding, making sure that this goes into the diary every day. And by the way, why should something like this, or read 30 minutes nonfiction? Well, sorry, that's another thing. Or read 30 minutes free choice in the evening. Why should this go into a daily routine? This person feels like if he really wants to get some free time, some some time away from work, projects, career, obligations, he needs to write it down. And this is so true to so many of the busy and successful executives and business owners that I work with, that I deal with. If you do have that sense of responsibility, leisure and things like even spending time with your family need to go on your routine. Okay, let me just jump quickly to example number two. Number two, morning, breathe. In this case, well, this is my own example. I feel that the exercise of starting the day by breathing is really helpful. And then working out. And this is a good example of how things kind of adjust, because right now I'm working on a number of business goals. So there's a lot on my plate right now. So some of the things that matter to me, they still matter, but I'm not. It's a choice. It's a conscious choice to not invest so much time on those things, so that I can focus on other areas. So this is what I meant by moment of life, depending on the moment of life. Yoga and meditation, they're not optional. Meditation is always a priority. If I do have some extra time, I like to do a little bit of yoga stretching, but it's optional. And I know if I don't tick that box, it's perfectly fine. It's just it's there as a reminder. And a cold shower, really important for my health, because my joints, but also my mental health, because I really like the sensation of just that impact of the cold water. And then journal. Journal is not also at this moment. Sometimes it is in my life. This moment is not an absolute priority, but I make it a point to do it as often as I can. So it's there also as a reminder. Make the bed. This is a personal favorite, and if it's one of those, it gives me that comfort that whatever happens during the day, and sometimes things don't go according to plan and to expectations. Whatever happens, I did one thing right. I made my bed really nice, and then in the evening when I look at it, I can be proud of this one thing. And then I prepare my son to. I like to help preparing my younger son to go to school. And this is really meaningful because it gives me, I'm doing a number of things at the same time. I'm spending time with my family. I'm giving back because I'm helping with chores. And I also have that sense of, just contribution and being part of a bigger plan. So spiritually, this is really, really relevant to me. Then I greet special people, the ones I'm grateful for, responsible for. And this could be a phone call to a friend whom I haven't spoken in a while, just a WhatsApp to my parents, just checking on people. Sometimes it's half an hour, sometimes it's 30 minutes on the go, but it's there as because it's relevant. And then a finance check aligns with a very important area of my life, which is finances. And then I'm off to my working day, where I also have different sort of routines. Evening, quickly, cutoff time, when obligations, work is done, a nice hot shower kind of helps me to unwind, relax, cut off some time to reflect on the day that just finished and on the days ahead. A quick short meditation, then reading some fiction, something just to get my mind out of just the day to day, and off to bed to a 7-hour sleep. This is another example where you see it. I have options. I sometimes adjust things. There's things that I know that I might not be able to do, and it's really dependent on the moment of life that I'm at. All right, the blissful routine is a part of a broader framework. And it's 3 stages, A, B, and C. And the general idea is helping you to get back time and energy to fully appreciate what really matters to you, to make sure that you are very aware of what it is that it's really important and meaningful to you, your hopes and aspirations, that you build your goals align with those and your core values, and help you to follow through to achieve those goals and have success and achieve your lasting fulfillment. And for that, it's really important, and we help you with that with the framework, to enjoy every step of the journey and truly appreciate your achievements and life's gifts, like life's gifts, and keep that momentum going. Time to make a decision, do what you're doing right now, or adopt empowering habits and enjoy the ride. All right, time for some Q&A. I'd love to hear, how does your routine currently look like? What habits can you create this week to start reflecting on your progress? Just drop your comments on the chat box, and or reach out directly. So just raise your little digital hand, and I'll unmute you to answer those questions. Meanwhile, there's a couple of questions that people sent ahead of this webinar. Quick one, so quick answer to this. I already have a routine. It doesn't seem to be working to keep me motivated. How can I fix this? Well, I think I addressed that in a way. First thing is making sure that you're doing your thing, right? Do you. That's the first thing. If it's not working, there's probably something in there that it's not really aligned. If you do align it with what you really want to achieve, if you align it with what's important to you, you eliminate a lot of the friction, a lot of the resistance and the obstacles. Then there's things like the rewarding process, right? You finding ways to keep you motivated. And I also listed a few ones. Read about stuff, about whatever it is that you're trying to pursue. Get involved. Find groups, find an accountability partner. If you can, get a coach or a mentor to fight on your side, and that all of those things will keep you, just keep pushing, and then you obviously have you celebrate, right? You stop and you pause and you say, okay, how far have I come? So my point was to lose 10 pounds. Where am I? Oh, you assess it. Oh, where am I? Oh, I've already done 5 pounds. So this has been working for me, right? Or the other way around. My goal was to lose 10 pounds. Nothing's happened, so let's just readjust. Because sometimes that also happens. It doesn't seem to be working, but change it. You can change it, right? You can honestly change it. And you, again, if you're just procrastinated. And an interesting thing is the habits that are effective, that work for you, they don't necessarily are fun things to do. You don't necessarily enjoy them. Well, you know that's a known fact. So you have to be prepared for that, right? And in order to push through that and just follow through, you must focus on the outcome. What is it that I wanted? Again, the purpose. What is it that I want to achieve? What's my driver? Why am I getting out of bed at 5:15 to go outside? It's dark, it's long. No, everybody's in bed where they should be. And why am I putting my running shoes on and just kind of get out the door like a crazy person? If there's not a real reason why, if you're not connected to that, it's not going to happen, right? But again, if you are and you feel that it's still hard to do, if you have someone who's, let's say your neighbor also is into this, it's going to help. I hear contrary suggestions all the time, and how do I know what is the best advice? Well, again, that's why I mentioned that doing your thing is really the most important thing. The best advice is the one Um, the best advice is the one that works for you. I'm just smiling because on my one-to-one sessions, when I sometimes I say things like this, but I'm just stating the obvious, and people just kind of, all right, but that's it. If it the best advice is the one that works for you, that's it. And if it's not working for you, it's not the best advice. Obviously, especially in things like health or wealth, the things have to be framed, right? If you're and depending on the goal, you have to really understand there's specific strategies to achieve and to engage in certain habits, especially if you want to work out, you cannot just do it. You have to follow some sort of framework. But there are many options. And the one thing that you can do is you look at it and you say, well, I think this is the best option for me to quit smoking, right? Because you will have many different ways to do that. If it's working for you, it's your best advice. Okay, good. Now, but also the best advice, and speaking of that, um, I'm happy to, well, if you're on this call, I'm happy to, and if you want to build powerful habits to achieve your goals and enjoy the journey to your success and fulfillment and have a clear roadmap for that, I'm happy to book a free strategy call. And we'll go a little deeper, and we'll give some context to the blissful routine, to your specific situation. And I'm happy to share with you all the stages and steps and actions in order to make sure you get that that clear path to true success and lasting fulfillment. Also, there's a special gift, a surprise gift, although it's a brand new AI-powered personal developed app that I'm one of the co-founders, and we're giving you a free subscription for 6 months. So there should be a link. Click on that link and book your slot. You'll have available slots there. These things tend to fill up quite quickly, so don't leave it to the last minute and just book your call. All right, back to the queue. Okay, thank you very much for listening, and I hope to speak to you soon on your free strategy call.